We're at Spinny Mountain Reservoir, South Park, Colorado. It is the end of October. It is prime time for big trout. And getting towards the end of our pike season. We've been catching a lot of big pike too, but definitely this is the place you want to be targeting that master angler size rainbow, big browns, but for the most part, we're going to see a lot of big rainbows today.
We go. We're not just a guide service here at Tightline Outdoors. We run several things. One of the things that's getting ready to come up is our Ice Addiction Tournament Series. This Ice Addiction Tournament Series, I'm telling you what, it's a must-see, must-do type of event. First event is at Boyd Lake, January the 9th. We're really looking forward to that venue. We just got off of that lake recently for Walleye Insanity, another tournament series that Tightline Outdoors runs. So what's funny is we're not just a guide service. We're not just a multi-species guide service at that. We're actually running events. Don't Bash the Trash, Walleye Insanity. The ones that we're really interested in trying to get people to understand is our Ice Addiction that's coming up. Again, first event, January the 9th at Boyd Lake.
You know, this time of year it's October and we're starting to see a lot of these big trout here at Spinny Mountain Reservoir tucking in super shallow. And it's something not a lot of people have been doing lately is we've been tucking into, you know, less than 5 feet of water targeting these big rainbows. And what they're doing is these big rainbows are coming in, they're following a lot of the browns that are in spawning this time of year, chasing them in shallow. You know, they'll feed on a lot of the roe. But for the most part, you know, we're finding lots of pods of fish. You know, we'll go catch 5 or 6 fish in a row, seems like, and then nothing. And essentially these fish are just cruising, they're roaming. I wouldn't say they're schooled up, but they're definitely roaming. And what we're doing is we're throwing, you know, you're just run-of-the-mill, some of that grass off there, tube jig, you know, 3.5 to 4 inch tube jig. White's been the best color lately. And here at this lake, there's a no scent and no salt rule. So we got to make sure we're using tube jigs without any kind of scent or any kind of salt on them, because this is a gold medal fishery, you know, so they're promoting a lot of that catch and release fishing. And, you know, pretty much managing this fishery to be a trophy trout fishery. There's a fish. We got a pike here.
Oh, nice. Little bonus fish.
A bonus fish. You know, this isn't a great example of the pike that we have in this lake, but you know, this fish could very easily grow up, you know, to be a 20+ pound fish, you know. I mean, not a big pike by any means, you know, big toothy critter. But get a look at these teeth real quick.
Now these good eating fish?
These are, you know, I tell people, a lot of the people that say, well, I've eaten pike before. Get this guy back. The pike in Colorado, I don't think eat quite as well as the pike that you might be used to in the Midwest. You know, in the Midwest, I could argue you have a hard time telling the difference between a pike and a walleye when you fry them up.
Walleye is good. That's what I'm thinking.
Walleye's really good.
Do you catch walleye?
Oh yeah. That's what his.
Absolutely. You know, I mean.
Oh, you got him chasing. Yep. He's chasing. Oh.
Look at that.
No, big old trout.
You know, folks, that's something that we definitely enjoy. More importantly, is as a multi-species guide service, you know, yeah, there's great table fare like a walleye. Our crappie bite is phenomenal. But one of the things that I want to really stress is, one of the things that we're really proud of at Tightline Outdoors is really bringing fishing to families, women, kids in general, where sometimes fishing can be a little bit difficult, a little bit tough for them to really get comfortable with. And one of the things that we stress is the fact of letting us bring all the equipment. We have boats, we have the equipment, everything that you need, from lures to line. You don't have to worry about a thing.
And he's coming quick to the boat, but nice solid South Park rainbow again. Boy, he crushed that thing. He engulfed it. Come on,
How was that net job? Come on, Larry. Come on, bro.
All right, so this is another great example of these fish that we have up here. You know, I mean, look at how he just chowed that tube. And that tube is all the way in his mouth. And something a lot of people don't think to do, you know, especially because trout fishing in Colorado, you know, like we talked about earlier with the fly fishing thing, is it's really not necessarily, it doesn't have to be a finesse game. Now this is a cut bow. You can see here, we've got that kind of orangey throat there. And most of these fish are stock fish. This is a nice solid, another 18, 19 inch rainbow or cut bow, I guess. But look at the size of this fish's mouth. These fish will chow down on other trout. You know, we catch a lot of these big rainbow or big cut bows on jerk baits. We catch a lot of these fish on, big predator style baits. And we'll get this one back. But again, guys, you know, that's a really good example of what this fishery has to offer. Got him? All right. Okay, back to drag off. Now that's a fat fish. I mean, just another classic, you know, Spinny Mountain Reservoir. Oh, trout.
All those things are fat.
Look at that, you can't even get your hand around them. Nicely done, Lowry, with the good hook set.
Wow, that's a nice fish.
Just another beautiful cookie cutter Spinny Mountain Rainbow. I mean, look at that thing.
On Lowry, Will Dykstra,
On
Tightline Outdoors. What?
Nice fish, buddy. I can feel a crawdad in his stomach.
Full of life.
Full of life. Good job, Ron.
Got
Got him.
Fish on.
Well, that's a slug.
Look at this baby. Beautiful.
That was fun. We could see him chasing you on the super shallow water. See him chasing and
Look at the fighting that puppy.
Yeah, they're all the same. The size of them.
All beautiful.
I mean, you look at this fish.
Still about the 18, 19, you say?
Yep, still in that kind of 18-inch size range. So, I mean, look at that fish. I mean, just
Wow.
a beautiful fish.
Healthy.
Healthy, healthy fish. Let's set this puppy back. Released to fight another day. Okay, we gotta find some 20s for the cooking, for the table fare.
We're all running pretty much the whole guide service at Tightline Outdoors is Lund Mercury motor with Lund Pro Vs. They're all big boats, 20-foot boats. And so to have an adult, a guide, and 4 kids in the boat was no problem, plenty of room. We had fun, had a lot of fish being caught. We just had one missed again. And he's caught right at the boat.
Wow, what a fish.
Another one in there? Get a double?
No, you fish. I'll net them. You fish. Get a double. Let's get 2 fish in there. There's your table fare. Look at the size of that fish.
Look
Wow.
at this fish. You go nets, stretching them out, and there, look at this. Beautiful, 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 beautiful.
I mean, like again, you know, like we've caught a lot of those 18, 19-inch fish today, I mean, look at that fish, just totally chowed that tube jig. You know, 18, 19-inch fish, then you get this fish that's probably sitting right at that 20, 21, and but this is what every single fish is like in here. And you know, the regulations at a lake like or at this lake in particular, gold medal water, is you're allowed to take one trout over 20 inches. You have 21 inches right there on the musky bumper bump board. I mean, look at the back of that fish. I mean, these are footballs. I'm not sure Peyton Manning could throw these things. There's our cooking show.
One of the most important things I want you to keep in mind is how to take care of your food and prepare your food so that you're ready to eat it on the table. I'm very meticulous when it comes to any of my wild game. I'm going to flay up this trout real quick that we caught today. We caught a nice almost 22-inch trout, and we're going to flay it up so that we can prepare it for dinner. Best thing to do is start off kind of at the belly of it, right at where the anus gland starts, and then work your way all the way up. Bring it up all the way just behind the neck, or right behind the head. I'll start off kind of with 2 small incisions. I've made it open enough to where I can go in and easily come in and reach all of this out. All of the stuff that's in it, its guts and stuff like that, completely out of it. Some people like leaving the head on. I don't eat the head, so I go ahead and get rid of it. Most important thing to do once you kind of got the innards out is you definitely have this dark, right down the center, this dark line. You want to start as far up as you can using your fingernail. And now we got a nice clean trout to eat for dinner.
Now folks, after you clean the fish really good, what I do, I take some cooking spray and I just barely spray the outside of the fish, put it on some foil. Now then, all you have to do, really simple. A lot of people will fillet them, a lot of people will cut them in half, but I just leave it whole. Open this up and get butter, melt butter, and garlic salt. Lots of garlic salt in there, and just baste it all really, really well. And what I do, I got a hot grill. Take and put the fish in here on a hot grill, and you'll see it start steaming. Again, garlic, salt, garlic butter, and I'll close the lid for about 3 or 4 minutes. Baste the other side, turn it over inside, let it cook for about 7 minutes, and we'll have grilled trout here in a few minutes. Okay, we think it's about done. I've already turned it one time, put some more garlic on it, and the way you really turn it till it's done is I start pulling this, see here, pull the skin off like that. When you pull that skin off, that should be done. It'll just fall off. And then folks, you can take a fork, and the way I serve the trout is take a fork, pull it off, and have lunch. Folks, will be right back after the break with more elk hunting.